Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the thing under the bed. It all starts with the location. This is in an apartment building in Prague, Czech Republic. It's a very old building, built in 1899. It was eventually converted into apartments, and now there, reportedly 3 stories of tenants living in this place. Now the story that we're going to tell you specifically takes place on the 3rd floor. But first, I should mention that there's something strange about this apartment. You see, time and time again, anyone who ends up renting that apartment never stays there for long. Within a month, they're gone. Some people even said that they were scared to move into the apartment because the landlord told them that no one ever stays there for long. But they wanted somewhere to live, and so they moved right on in anyway. Then they move in, and then within a month, they're out. So let's just get straight to the point. What is going on in this apartment? There have been so many reports from so many different people that there is no way that it can just be coincidence. Let's start with the ghost. People describe it as a dark, crawling spirit. Apparently, it likes to hide underneath the bed. And while most people don't actually see the ghost itself, they do report strange events happening in the room. First off, people wake up with scratches on their bodies. These are not light scratches either. Apparently, these scratches bleed and they last for days. Now, it's also reported that people's shoes and their clothes will randomly become soaked and muddy. Even if the person is wearing socks, their socks will become muddy. If they're wearing boots, their boots will become muddy. On top of that, this happens even if it hasn't rained that day. In fact, this happens even if it hasn't rained in weeks. People have even said that when they find their boots by the door, they're soaking wet and filled with mud. And even though the apartment is on the 3rd floor, there's mud on the bottom of the boots like they were stomped in on the ground floor. Now, another strange thing that has happened to many people in this apartment is that if they place a camera in the room, at some point the camera will go black. Specifically between the hours of 2 o'clock and 2:10 a.m., the camera will go completely black. Some people try moving the camera back to where it was facing before the screen went black, but the screen stays black. That is until the next morning when they wake up and turn the camera back on. Then the screen goes back to normal. All of these things are strange, sure, but I don't think that anyone would leave their home because of these things. So what's the big deal? Well, apparently there's more, you see. While many people hear the ghost moving around in the room, they have never seen its face. The only things that they see are the scratches that appear on their body. Some people have described seeing a shadow figure crawl across their room, but no one has ever gotten a good look at this thing. All they've heard is the sound of heavy breathing and the sound of nails dragging across the wooden floor. One witness said that the sound is exactly like someone dragging metal nails across the wooden floor. Some witnesses have said that they even tried looking under the bed after 2 a.m. and that S when the ghost comes out. But they said if you look under the bed after 2 a.m., it sees you too, and it doesn't like it. Now, a lot of people have said that they tried to capture it on camera, but the only thing that they captured is the sounds of it moving around. There's a video of this available online. I'm not going to link to it, but if you search hard enough, you can probably find it. It's just the audio of something dragging across the floor. Many people have said that this is the creepiest thing that they have ever heard in their entire lives. But wait, it gets worse. You see, once the ghost has come out from under the bed, it starts scratching at the door. And if you listen to that video that was taken in the room, you can hear it scratching at the door. It wants to get out. Once it starts scratching at the door, it becomes very obvious that whatever is under your bed does not want to be under your bed. It wants out. But even though it scratches and scratches, it never gets out. Now, some people have tried talking to the ghost, and others have tried begging it to stop. But you know what's really weird? Apparently the ghost stops. People try to talk to it or beg it to stop, it stops. Then once the person leaves the apartment, it starts up again. Scratching, moving around, all that stuff, it starts back up. But if anyone tries to communicate with it, it stops. Now this is where things take a turn for the worst. Some people have said that they tried to lock the door with a deadbolt, but when they turned around, the deadbolt was unlocked and the door was open. Others have said that they've tried keeping the door open throughout the night, almost like an offering to the spirit, but in the morning they come out and they're scratched up and the door is closed. Then there's another strange part to all of this. We know that whenever the ghost comes out, it's always between 2 o'clock and 2:10 a.m., but it never comes out at the exact same time twice. For example, one night it might be 2:05, another night it could be 2:10, another night it could be 2:02. You never know. And even though the ghost comes out every night between those 2 minutes, it never goes out into the hallway. It always stays in the room. For some reason, it likes to scratch at the door. And here's the most mysterious part of all of this. To this day, no one has ever seen what's under the bed. Like I said earlier, the only thing that people have been able to capture is the sound of the ghost moving around, which to many people sounds like nails being dragged across the wooden floor. Also, no one knows why it does what it does, or why it's trapped under the bed. Now, there have been many paranormal investigators who have gone into that apartment, but they haven't found anything. Of course, when the ghost is moving around, they can hear it, but they never saw anything. Alright, so now I'm going to give you my thoughts on this case. Honestly, this is one of the scariest cases that I've ever heard of. The sheer amount of evidence against this ghost is undeniable. Too many people have experienced the exact same thing in that apartment, and the scratching is probably the scariest part. Imagine you re-sleeping in your bed, and all of a sudden you feel something sharp dig into your skin. Open your eyes, and you're met with the sight of something dark crawling over you. It would be terrifying. Another thing is that we know that whatever is under that bed is sentient. How do we know that? Because when people try to talk to it, it stops. It understands what they're saying. In fact, it seems almost as if it's listening to them. Another sign that this thing is intelligent is the fact that it knows how to unlock a deadbolt. It waited until the person turned around, and then it unlocked the door. As far as I'm concerned, whatever is under that bed is definitely not human, and whatever it is, it's not happy. I mean, just think about it. If you were a ghost, wouldn't you want to roam free? Wouldn't you want to walk through walls and go wherever you please? Why would you stay under a bed? Why would you lock yourself under a bed? Whatever this thing is, did that on purpose. And I believe that it's trying to get out. It's desperate to get out. I think that something happened in that room a long time ago, and whatever happened there caused this entity to become trapped under the bed. Whatever this thing is, it seems almost as if it's stuck there. It cannot escape. And whoever's staying in that room is causing it pain. I honestly believe that this is the reason why no one stays in that apartment for long. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.